Hi, it's Mary Beth Shaw at StencilGirl Products. Welcome to Almost Live. I've got something fun to share today. It's a technique that I saw on Instagram. A lady over there was doing it, and I wrote to her and I told her how cool it was. She was using our stencils, and she was also using one of my favorite products, which is Tim Holtz's Distress Oxide Spray. Not just Distress Spray, Distress Oxide. And I told her, oh my God, you be still my heart. You're like doing all my favorite things. And she was, of course, making papers like I do. And it was just so much fun. So I wanted to share this with you, and I've been playing with her techniques and the papers she uses, and she's in the UK, so we don't have exactly the same thing here in the US, and I believe I've come up with a way to do this. So that's what I'm going to show you all today, and I hope you like it as much as I do. It really makes you push the boundaries, and you know, this mad scientist right here loves pushing boundaries. So let's turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right. So I'm going to move my lights a little bit closer here and show you what we've got. I have some stencils piled up here, and I have some papers. And I'm going to go ahead and make the assembly first, and then I'll show you some that I've made, because this is going to have to dry down, and then I'll come back on and film the reveal after it dries down. So this is to make some interesting kind of serendipitous papers, painted papers that you can use in collage and bookmaking and any of the things you do. And what Kirsty Hall does, she's the artist that I was talking about on Instagram, Kirsty Hall artist. Let me just look that up real quick, because I don't want to get her name wrong. And I'm pretty sure Kirsty, Kirsty Hall artist. Anyway, she has some very cool techniques on her page, and I just love how she's pushing the limit in all of her work. And what she started out with was, she started out with some jelly printed pages that she just didn't like them for one reason or another. So I did the same. I pulled out some jelly pages that were just, I don't know, just a little bit boring, not anything that fancy. And I thought that I would work on those. And I am using a few kinds of paper here. This is mineral paper. This is tracing paper, and then this is a really thin, dry wax paper, kind of like a deli paper, except it's that kind that they use in medical offices. You know how they'll like have a big roll of it and they'll pull it out over like the seat, or like if you go to the dentist, they put it on the headrest, or the chiropractor, they put it on the bench. It's that kind of paper. And somebody gave this to me. Okay, it was Janine Kolb. I love her. And I really like it, but I just have a little bit of it, and I'm not even sure where to source it. So, but I believe you could do this with deli paper with lots of different things. And this is called a stencil pile, is what we're going to do here. And I, of course, have found a few other things I like to do with it. So naturally, I'm going to push it in another direction as well. And I'll talk that through with you as we go. So let's take a minute. Distress Oxide Spray. What is the deal with this? All right. It's water reactive dye and pigment ink in one container. It does crazy things when you put water with it. Colors come out that you don't anticipate. And I love the magic of that. And so that's what makes it particularly fun with this technique, because you don't know what's going on anyway. And then with that, oh my God, it's all the best. So I've picked some colors. What I like to do is I spray a little bit on, and I usually do like two colors that are different than what I'm spraying on. So since I'm doing a pink background, I'm spraying this blue and this brown because I want to see what they do. And then I'm hitting them with water because we know it needs water to activate. Then I'm putting a stencil down and, oops, I got a wild spray. And then I'm putting another piece of paper on the top of it, okay? And you're making this pile. Now, I'm just going to confess, sometimes it gets a little wild and woolly. The pages tear. When I show you my ones I've made, you'll see some that actually tore, and it's kind of a bummer. So, all right, here are a couple other, this is just that tissue. Like if you want to pull some up, look at that. You can just pull it up and it will come up in the same stencil motif as you've got there in your pile. Isn't that a little bit of a sweet extra? So I'm going to set that aside to dry. Make sure this is wet. Let's throw another color down there. Let's throw some of this. This is Kitsch Flamingo. We'll throw a little bit of it down there too. Now, this next one's going to go down. Oops, I forgot to put another stencil. Uh-oh, need another stencil. Let's do this one that I had in my hand. Put this down, kind of press it down on there. Now, again, I'm going to go back in and trust me, you're going to want to try this, people, because it is just the weirdest thing you've ever done in your life. Now, this one, I'm going to try not to get a stencil pull. I'm going to try to just pull some color because that's pretty cool too. And so here you can see there's some color, and you can add some more water to this and let it kind of merge up among itself as well. And I'm running out of room here. We'll put it right there. Okay, so let's put a couple more stencils down here. Another piece of paper. Then let's put this green on this, dark green. And look, we had some overspray. Am I concerned? No, of course not. I love overspray. It's all fun, fun, fun. All right, and then let's get another stencil. We've got room for 2 stencils here, so I'm going to grab a second one and put it over on the side. And then I'm going to put this down on top and just smush it down. All right? Now, this should sit and dry. It may need to dry overnight. I am going to gently pick it up by the bottom sheet, which was mineral paper, and I'm going to move it out of the way. And I'm going to try not to touch it until morning, because it really does make a difference if you wait, seriously. At least if you wait until it's very dry. All right, so you've already made 2 little tissue-y kind of pages. And, you know, when I'm doing collage, these are the parts I ended up being the most excited about, because they're just so, I don't know, they're just so different than anything else. You know, I just thought of something. I think I'm going to try to spray it again and see what happens. This seems pretty sturdy. I've got it on this little carrying sheet, right? So we'll just let that go. And then I'm going to get, this was the one with the stencil. Now, you know what? Oh my God, I'm going off the rails, you guys. I swear. Let me, I want to grab some gesso. This is just white gesso. And I'm going to put some on here. And gotta stir it up a little bit. I didn't anticipate doing this part, but I just can't stop. Once I start doing it, it's just fun. Okay, so I'm gonna try to leave that part, and then I'll just put some gesso up here. Okay, yep. Alrighty. So lately, I have been putting down gesso because I think that if you have wet gesso and then you spray the Distress into it, when it dries down, it tends to be more permanent. Now, of course, I had huge overspray there. We're gonna just let this run around on here, and we're gonna see what other colors come out. I'm gonna also dribble it because I like that effect. I see some grays coming in underneath, which are super pretty. And I'm gonna keep this on this carrier page just because it is a really easy way to, you know, to keep it under control. And all right, but let's get back to the point at hand, which is I was gonna show you the pages I've made so far. All right, come on, come on. This will dry quicker because it's not part of a pile. All right, these are some that I've made, and you'll see some mistakes, and you know, I don't really choose to call them mistakes because I think that they're just cool. And I sprayed all different colors, and here is what is so weird. The front and the back end up looking totally different, and I cannot figure out a rhyme or reason to it. Maybe if I keep doing this long enough, I'll figure it out. But these are ones where I like the front best. Here's one that ripped, and I was using tracing paper for this, and I really don't know why it ripped, but it did. Here is one where I had a very open stencil, so I didn't have a lot of points of contact, but it was so pretty. And I know what stencil it was. It was one of these, it was this stencil of Michelle Ward's. And it's such an open stencil that I don't know that it's the best for this particular technique, but it just, these colors blew my mind, right? Here is another one where, again, the front and back totally different. Here's one where you can see it didn't take it as much. Now here is a piece of mineral paper. Mineral paper is just made for this, I gotta say. This is one where the background was pretty plain, and then I put the Distress Oxide on top, and it's gorgeous. This one, oh my goodness, really? Now naturally you don't get much on the back with the mineral paper, particularly because I tend to do the mineral paper as the bottom layer, which that means there's a white layer that's underneath that's, you know, if you set this on the very bottom of your pile, that white layer is not going to come in contact with anything. So, anywho. All right, here's one that is just so, it just looks like some graffitied wall or something. I don't even know what happened here. And it's almost textural, but then the back of it looks cool too. And this is where I think, my goodness, if you fold these pages, look at this one, Be Still My Heart. Oh my goodness. The back, pretty plain. And then this one, again, quite textural. But look at the sides here. The back and the front of this one are quite interesting. And then this is the piece de la resistance. It was both this piece of mineral paper, both sides, and look at that. It needs to be like some kind of a card or something where you do use both sides of it and you see both sides of it, because it turned out so pretty. Just love it. Oh my gosh, I gotta pull this back over, and I'm gonna hold this up, and I'm hoping we'll get some focus here so that you can see how this is oxidizing. it is just gorgeous through here. It's oxidizing like nobody's business. Now the one on the gesso, same, but it just needs longer to do it. And it's obviously going to be quite a different result because you've got the gesso there too, right? And that's very different. I think I'm going to, what I'd like to do with this is get another color going in there, but I don't want to spray because I don't want it to overtake. I just want it to accent. So this is already so wet. I don't think I'm going to wet it anymore. I'm just going to let it kind of move out on its own like that. So, all right, I will come back when this is all complete and we will do a big reveal with our pile. In the meantime, I expect you to get some stuff together because I want to see what you all made too. Hey, it's me, I'm back. It's another day. I put this thing on pause overnight and it just sat here and it's waiting, and so I'm gonna switch back to the vignette. I wasn't sure if it would work like this, but I'm pretty happy it did. So let's switch back and take a look at what we got. All right, so first of all, this is one of those pieces that I was mopping up with, and I think it's actually really pretty, and I like it a lot. This is the one, remember, where I put the gesso down. I'm reminding me more than you, because if you're watching this straight through, you probably just saw it less than a minute ago. And then this is the other one. Look at that. So pretty. And I have to say, even these paper towels are quite pretty. Quite pretty. The other thing I did, I think I did this after I put it on pause. I took a piece of black text paper and I blotted. I think I blotted that one with the white gesso. This one because it was pretty soppy wet. And I blotted it with the black text weight paper. And I got some really nice effects on there too. So that was kind of fun. So now, if I could do a drum roll, I would. Let's take a look at what we got. First one. A little bit of nothing right there. All right, so then let's take these two up. Now this is where sometimes you get just a little bit on the front, but then the back side is more interesting. I don't know if you're seeing this, but I think it's really cool. It's very subtle, and the stencil effects are definitely there. Actually, they're on both sides. It's pretty cool. So then we'll take up these stencils and take a look at this one, and oh my. Okay, so here's the money shot. This is the kind of thing I love, is when all of the colors like blend out like that and you just have no idea what happened where or why or anything. And I actually love the fact that I tore this piece of paper. That's a highlight for me, because I'm gonna just make sure that that is glued down in something in its torn configuration with the torn edge dyed. I mean, ooh, love that. So pull this up, and let's see this one. Oh, another one. Look at that. That's so cool. And this is so fascinating to me. Look at how the edge is. Actually, all the edges on this one, the edges are darker, and then this part is lighter. That is very cool. Love this. This is that stencil. Let me put my glasses on and I'll tell you what stencil it is. It's actually super cool. Oh, it's a club stencil. So it's from 10/22. So from October of 2022. So if you're in the club, you could order this one. It's cool. Looks awesome. Both sides. And then the last one is the mineral paper, and this is so cool. I had used a stencil in the beginning and there was a lot of delicate pattern on there, and now there's this pattern and it's just awesome. So playing around with this technique, I have a lot of good stuff, and I now have a whole new pile of papers. I want to just summarize what I've learned, or what this means to me. and what it will be in my practice moving forward. First of all, you know I believe in pushing the limit. I think I'm going to switch this back on my face while I'm talking like this. Okay, you know how much I believe in pushing the limit, and that continues to be so important to me, to just push whatever it is you're working with, whatever supplies you're using or whatever techniques you're trying. Try the way you heard it was supposed to be done, or the way you saw it demoed, or what you remember. Try that, and then try something else, and then switch it to this, and then try that, and make it your own, because that is, to me, that is the most fun ever. And that allowed me to get some pieces that I just adore. This being one, and then that torn one. Oh my goodness, right? Try it with different papers, try it with different supplies, you know. I mean, it just goes on and on. The options abound. I think of these stencils, I've always thought of the stencils as tools. They're just here for us like any other tool, like a pair of scissors or a stamp or a ruler. You know, it's yours to figure out how best to use and to see what comes up when you play and you push the limits. And, you know, Distress Oxide, I love you, Distress Oxide. Thank you, Tim, for making this incredibly unique product that always surprises me, absolutely thrills me. And thank you, Kirsty Hall, for inspiring me to play with the stencils and the Distress Oxide sprays a little bit more. This was just so much fun. I do hope you'll all be encouraged to experiment on your own and go have some playtime. Thank you for watching my Almost Live. I'm Mary Beth Shaw from StencilGirl Products.